I'm kidding. That was just clickbait. I thought that was a funny title. Um, I go to Brown University. My name is Michael, and I love Brown. Um, it is the best place for me. It has been the best place for me to grow as a human being, as a student, and the people I've met. It's otherworldly how much I can't express how much I love them. And the resources, I've had some incredible professors. I've had a once in a lifetime experience, and you just saw the campus, so I'm just messing with you about how kind of blunt that title was. However, I think the sheer fact and idea and goal of getting into my dream school, I think that delayed a lot of human progress and human emotional growth for me that would have been way better if I got to learn these things at age 18. And I will say I'm 21. It was my birthday on Sunday, and I'm probably being a little maybe vain or maybe thinking into things too much as I am only 3 years older. But I don't know. I think this was a really, really valuable lesson for me. So for more context, yeah, I'm a senior at Brown. I'm studying biophysics. I'm studying pre-med, and I went to a public school in upstate New York, in Syracuse, New York. And what was so hard about that school was it was just super competitive, and I worked my absolute tail off to get the grades I wanted. I worked my tail off to get the extracurricular opportunities and the leadership opportunities, and my young, immature self glorified this idea of getting into a prestigious college. And I wanted it so bad. My parents went to good schools, my siblings went to good schools, and it just felt like I would be nothing without it. Like I felt like my identity was tied to it, right? So I really wanted to go to Brown. And when I was applying, like I said, I did everything humanly possible to try to get in. The extracurriculars, I did viola. I got all-state honors for viola. I raised like 6 figures, a part of a team for summer camp dedicated to kids with they're affected by cancer. I was top 10, 15% of my class. I did everything. And luckily, I got in. I got into Brown. Not early decision, I got deferred, and then I got accepted into regular decision. Now, I'm not saying this to brag or to say how far I've come, right? But I'm saying this because my identity was tied to getting into Brown. It was everything my friends knew about me, that I wanted to get good grades for this, and I always want to think it was for a good education and to make my parents proud. But to be entirely honest, it was about ego. It was about I just wanted it for myself. My premature self glorified this idea of getting into good college, this super superficial idea where in reality this kind of education doesn't absolutely transform my life with this privilege I already have. It doesn't do any of that. It doesn't. And I glorified this. And it was everything I ever wanted. Now, the most interesting part about after I got in is that when I was a 17-year-old immature person who put the pedestal on, who put this title, this prestige on such a big pedestal, is that once I got it, I felt like that's how straightforward life was. It was my entire life getting into this good school, and getting everything I ever wanted in high school fundamentally changed, my brain chemistry and so much about me. Right? I thought it was this straightforward to get my goals, and that as long as you work hard, you're going to get this. But most importantly, it reaffirmed my ego boost and my superficial drive to want something that doesn't even matter. This title, that doesn't even matter. It reaffirmed my belief that getting into a good school and only focusing on myself was everything that ever mattered. And I don't think about it as like this bad thing or I deserve to be punished, but that didn't go without a price heading into college. This feeling that, quote unquote, being smart and this title, it really kind of dictated my life in these past couple of years in college. I would be studying, like I said, the hardest classes here at Brown, and I would go on to fail exams, fail papers even. I don't even know how that works. I would fail a class, and I can't explain, and also I didn't exactly land into the social situation I wanted to. I still felt lonely and lost at some points. I still do now. But I can't explain how soul-crushing that was after being reaffirmed at 17, 18 years old that this is my life. Like that everything, my life is good grades. It is success. It is revolved around this thing that can fall so quickly. I started spiraling a lot because I was like, who am I without this? If I don't have these good grades, if I can't keep this up, keep this image up. In the simplest terms, I guess it was just crushing to receive this kind of rejection, right? And this was such an immature goal for me to keep continuing, being like, not how can I expand my education and my resources that Brown abundantly has. It wasn't that. It was how much farther in the rat race can I get because I did it back in my high school. Like, it's just so dangerous for there just to be this childish, just baby dream, like fallacy about wanting to get into the most prestigious school and then getting it and then feeling like that revolves around your entire life, and that will be, and anything slightly deviating off of that is an absolute failure. And I guess this feels first world. I don't know, maybe when we're talking about existential life problems, maybe this is the case for a lot of people who go to quote-unquote high-achieving schools. And maybe, most likely, everyone goes through this, where they have something that they thought they used to be so good at, and then they absolutely fall flat on their face and just spiral. And just have the craziest identity crisis about all of this. Now I understand that I was setting myself up for this good future, and I have been, and I'm just trying to enter, into the workforce with meaningful work, right? And whether I'm trying to be a doctor, that takes demanding work. Whether I'm trying to run this nonprofit, that's incredibly demanding, just making it from scratch, right? But what I've learned is that my frustration over myself, I think it's mainly like narcissistic. It's about having this title, it's about proving something to myself. And maybe I'm being too hard on myself, I don't know. But it just feels, I don't know, it feels like I was chasing these selfish goals. Like, for example, it just doesn't feel like I'm chasing these goals that being crushed over a B or C or failed class, because in reality, I know that won't change my odds of being a doctor. I just know like any doctor's failed a class once before, it's fine. Any nonprofit has had its hiccups, missed its grant deadlines. I know that's fine, so it has to be something about the ego. And I don't know, realizing that was really, really hard. And that's just a nuance I really wanted to explain of, I know I had good intentions, or maybe I tried to mask it with such, but in reality, I feel like I was just doing this for myself and just chasing another rat race to be able to stack things onto my resume, feel like I'm accomplished, right? So what I'm really happy and relieved about is that I learned this incredibly insightful lesson right now. That my achievements have no definition of who I am of a person and shouldn't have any control over my mood at all. That all of this stuff is incredibly superficial and I need to fall flat on my face. And just everything can't be perfect all the time.
That's good. How is like the friend?
Like, that's only gonna, like, chasing that perfection is only gonna drive you more insane if you feel like you can actually achieve it. I guess maybe that thing of striving for greatness, shout out LeBron, is just always just trying to be better. But striving for an actual perfection, that's gonna drive you up a wall. You're just gonna feel so tense. There's so much pressure. Oh my God. I experience so much pressure here, and I'm still trying to figure out / I guess calculate if it was self-imposed, right? If it was because of the environment around me. But all I'm saying is I know at least this lesson now, and not at 35. Say everything went perfect for me at Brown and I found out I'm the smartest, best grades, most accomplished person on this earth without me even trying or stumbling or struggling. Okay, perfect. I'm going to go on to the next thing. I'm going to keep just chasing these high achieving external validations. And then I'm going to be probably at the most lost point in my life. I guess what I'm saying is everyone has to be at this lost point in their life. At least that's how I see it right now at age 21. The thing I'm trying to focus on is that my accomplishments are the least bit part interesting about me. They are the least bit part interesting of me, sorry. They are the least most interesting part about me. and they have literally nothing to do with me. My accomplishments. I just need to let that go. That this external validation over me, I just need to drop it. And that's what I've been doing a lot. Just really trying to get out of the rat race. Out of these classes that feel like people just want to be better than other people. And just compete too much. It just too much competition can be so dangerous for everyone's mental health. So yeah, now I don't look at the fanciest grants, the fanciest connections, the fanciest grad school. I don't look at that, nor do I put any weight or emphasis of that onto my self-esteem. And it's so funny, like I said, I could have learned this at age 17, 18, 16. And maybe some people are falling into this now. But what I'm saying is that getting into my dream school, although no one's going to feel bad for me hearing this, getting into my dream school, as a result, made me hold on to these accomplishments and superficial goals and keep riding this pipeline of a dream that was created by the external pressures of school in high school and a 16, 17-year-old imagination. And I just needed to fall flat on my face. I needed to have something go wrong where I realize no matter how hard I work towards something, things might not work out. It cannot be that linear. You can put your whole life towards something, and you sometimes cannot control the outcomes. Other priorities and other things in life can step in. But I don't know, man. If I'm going to be entirely honest, I kind of, not blacked out, but I tried to write my thoughts down this time, and it felt a little more crooked. But as always, this is a one take wonder. Just went on a run. Right now it's October 10th. It's about 12:30 a.m., 1 a.m. And I went on a run to clear my mind before I talked about this stuff. I think I was able to convey my thoughts. I'm going to be a little nervous listening to it. But yeah, I've been thinking about this for a while, about how much rejection could have taught me, how much stuff that rejection could have taught me earlier on in life. And yeah, I don't know, it always has me thinking. This is a public journal. I'm just glad I got to get my thoughts out, right? So, yeah, happy to put out episode 12. I'm feeling good. I know no one's asking, but I'm just trying to breathe, get my thoughts out, right? Yeah, I've really been enjoying this therapeutic process, reflecting on the past couple weeks. Yeah. Hope you have a great weekend. Listen to this. I hope anyone listening to this that's driving right now, I hope they have a safe drive, or if they're traveling for the long October break. And yeah, I think everyone should be less on their high horse and putting all their self-worth on these external things. And it's even more dangerous for the people that get them, right? Because then they're on cloud nine and everything's so easy for the people that win, right? Yeah. The air is really nice. I'm really happy because the October air is back. I like the cold specifically, but let's take some 3 deep breaths and then I'll sign off. Hailing from Brown University, my dream school. Love this place. All right. Take care. Have a good night.